All right, I'd like to call to order the Town of Swanton regular select board meeting for May 20th, 2025. And the first item of business is to do the pledge of allegiance. If you'd please join us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda review. We'll start with you, Christina.
I have nothing.
Kathy.
I'm good, thank you.
Nicole.
I think I'm okay.
I'm good.
Steve.
I think I had one thing I wanted to talk about under other business. It was gonna be, maybe it's on here, let's see.
I think it's in executive session.
Oh, you don't have to go into it, there's no names or anything.
Well, there's other stuff going
Oh,
on
okay,
related
all right,
to
that's
that.
fine.
Yeah, I think that's the item, right?
It's all kind of
Yeah, that's,
matches
so
together.
there's yeah, so we'll cover it
Now.
there, and if that doesn't work, when we come out, we'll,
Whatever.
yeah. Okay. First thing is the regular
I had a
select.
couple
Oh,
of
sorry, Brian.
changes
Didn't mean to
here.
leave you out of the picture.
It's okay. This one. The Friends of Northern Lake Champlain will not be here this evening. They're gonna reschedule for the next meeting on January 3rd.
How about June 3rd? January's
excuse
a
me.
long way.
June 3rd.
I'm not ready for January.
Under new business, Rick Cummings, that's been canceled for now, and Joel explains that in his in his notes. I think that's the bulk of it for now anyhow. Yeah,
Okay,
those are the two major ones.
so those were just changes, so
Mhm.
nothing I had to write down there. Let's see, now we will go to minutes, regular select board meeting of 6 May 2025. I'll entertain a motion.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? Here are none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Law enforcement, animal control officer, page 5 of our packet. One, I see with the cat on James Road, said unable to find owner. Did you give any more? I mean, on here, I don't see any more detail.
There really isn't much more detail. The cat had this metal through its leg, my understanding, however, it did not seem to be affected by it. You know, it's-
It wasn't like it was sick or anything
Right,
where you had to
right,
take it,
that's right.
okay.
The 31 Foundry Street, you'll notice 3 days in a row, that's been an ongoing issue. You see Swanton PD got involved, so I think for the time being, that's been resolved. And
29 York have anything?
dog sticking head out a broken window.
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what.
And I don't know what he means on 419 about unfounded dog versus dog. You got
Oh,
the
a
call,
dog
and the
fight.
call was that?
Probably a dog fight of some sort, but he got there and there was nothing around.
Nothing for him to unfound, okay. Alright, now we'll go to expenditures. It looks like the orders are all the same date, right Kathy?
Yes, they are.
4/16/2025 to 5/20/25. We can start off with the general orders if someone would like to make a motion.
It's so moved that we approve the general orders of $101,985.39.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the general orders in the amount of $101,985.39. Is there any further discussion? I know Kathy got these out to us, so. There's no further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
You turn it.
Highway orders, entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the highway orders of $54,984.94.
For your second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the highway orders in the amount of $54,984.94. Any further discussion? Big item on there is the police contract. Insurance. Hear none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Move on to special orders, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the special orders in the amount of $17,710.20.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve special orders in the amount of $17,710.20. Any discussion? I guess my only question, and it wouldn't necessarily come with the billing, is when they might give us a report. I'm assuming this is the testing on the Fourth Street, looks like,
I thought that it would be, well, they've sent it to the state. I thought we would have had something by now.
oh, so they actually sent,
Yeah, they were waiting to see if the state accepted it.
Did they focus just on the site specific, or did they go out, like someone was explaining before,
Well, they went out.
around the neighborhood and stuff?
Oh, they actually came all the way down here. Yeah,
Quite a ways from Fourth Street.
yeah. And the coldest, glorious day you can imagine. The guy came in here half frozen.
yeah, I forget the name of that chemical, but they were trying to check the background levels.
Vanadium.
Yeah, and so if the background levels were high enough, then it's not a problem to correct it on Fourth Street, but if the background isn't high, then we fix on Fourth Street, that's the way they talked about
Did
it.
they tell you what the results were?
No, because I think before they can do that, they have to get the state.
Oh, I forgot about it. It's the green.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Library, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the library orders of $5,077.60.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the library orders for $5,077.60. Is there, excuse me, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Highway and general payroll, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the highway and general payroll of $44,228.37.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the highway and general payroll in the amount of $44,228.37. Is there any further discussion? Here or none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Library payroll.
I'll make a motion to approve the library payroll of $9,787.72.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the library payroll in the amount of $9,787.72. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so moved.
Hey, Bob, you wanna see these? You wanna see these reports, all their expenditures? Open.
Charge up my water here. Highway department. Okay. Crews have been out cleaning out ditches and culverts after the heavy rains, dealing with beavers up on Swanton Hill Road. They're doing some prep for paving, cutting back shoulders and stuff, so after the new pavement is down, the water will run off into the ditches better. We don't have dates yet for paving. We haven't spent a lot of time with that yet. The weather hasn't been the greatest, but we will have that discussion pretty soon with Pike. And then I did get hold of LD Safety Markings. They're about the only game in town now. The person who did it last year, he's out of the business of doing road markings. L&D is very large, they do they do, I think, all of Vermont state striping. And, they're supposed to send me an estimate, but they haven't done it yet.
That include our crosswalks?
No, crosswalks are done, we work with the village on that, and pretty much it's the village crew, and we trade off some other work. They have, the stencils and things, and yes, and, actually had that conversation with Kevin that, we should be getting those going pretty soon, cause it's the time of year, a lot of
Yeah,
people are out
pretty
walking
much.
around.
Plowed off.
Yes,
Yeah.
like, yeah, up on, Bushy Street and stuff there, that Four Corners, and, yeah. Okay, Swanton Hill Road, there's 3, construction, or no, up there's two easements. Those are being worked, and then we'll get with the landowners, and our plan right now is to do that work and begin in late July, and that's the one where we awarded the, contract for the blasting. Brooklyn Street, Brian prepared 3 easements, to get that work done, so now we'll get the landowners together, have a conversation with them. Really don't wanna do that work on Brooklyn Street till it's drier, that is a real wet area, and it could very well be late fall before we get in there. Early June for the bids on the truck, right, that's our first meeting in June, I think is when they're due, just before that. We haven't got the RFP done yet for the 3/4 ton pickup truck that we wanna go out and get bids for. And I still, Kevin and I haven't sat down and done the, review of the extended warranty and make a proposal to the board whether or not we should spend the money for it. And LVRT, contractor will actually be on site tomorrow. He's got an excavator and a bulldozer there, and we'll start. He was supposed to originally thought they were gonna start the 12th, and they moved it to the 19th, and now it's tomorrow. Berry Road culvert proposal, that's in the package. The state did come through and award us the grant, subject to the passing of the state budget, and no work can be done until the 1st of July. But I did ask for East Engineering to get us their proposal, and the proposal is in the packet here. The design, $25,000 for a project that is in the 450 range, $400,000 to $500,000. That's a reasonable amount for the engineer, and Tyler has done a very good job for us, and he's done several projects similar to this.
They got a lot of work, according to that bid, that's a lot of work.
Yes, yeah. And, so I recommend we stay with them and we award this, and just the caveat is not to start until after, the 1st of July, but we will be ready to go. There are a lot of permits that need to be done for this, so really would like to start this project, the actual construction next year, but I'm not convinced we're gonna get there because of the permitting process. And I just wanna be ready like 1 July. I want us to be ready 1 July to get this part of it going. So I don't know if anyone wants to review this more or has some other thoughts, but, wanted it on the agenda tonight to talk about it.
I read it, I thought it was a good proposal. What are your other thoughts?
I have no additional thoughts. I think this is the way we get this going, and we've had the discussion, the whole funding piece, we'll work on that later for the actual construction, but we gotta get this part of it done, and, I recommend we approve it.
Yeah, I read through it early as well, and nothing stood out to me as being particularly worrisome.
He did the BB Road culvert, he did the South River culvert, and he's done some from several towns, so.
And he's very accommodating and very good to work with.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, if people are comfortable with it, I would.
Make a motion to approve the proposal?
Well, second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the East Engineering proposal to do the design of the Berry Road culvert replacement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Before we move away from the highway department, I just wanna commend the hard work of the individuals in our highway department. They did, some work for us at the rec department. They did a great job. They were incredibly helpful, and we're very glad that they were able to help us.
And that was the stone and the
That was
drainage.
the stone in
and
the driveway, the drainage on the bathroom side, making them now ADA accessible, and they helped us move our garden shed as we are redesigning the community garden area to make it more accessible and visible to the community, and they did that with ease, so.
Good. All right, Old Town Business, Swanton Public Library Insulation Project Schedule.
Well, I am pleased to say that, subject to my going over to look at it, but Christina was over and looked at it.
It is
And,
done.
It is done. Now, there's still, the windows in the King's Daughter's room and the weatherization that still needs to be completed, because that part of it, we're awaiting parts for those windows. The goal is to get that done, because on June 3rd, Laz has contacted the person who will come, that Vermont Gas will pay half of, to do another blow test on the building after the library is closed. And they will, from that determination, that test, they will determine what Vermont Gas Company will give us for a rebate for the installation project. I will be going over there tomorrow. The library will remain closed now till Tuesday. There's still stuff that has to get moved back. I'll be working with Kevin to move some stuff around. So they'll be reopening Tuesday. As far as, unless I see something that's very major tomorrow, I doubt it, but it's gonna be set to reopen. So that's that. We don't have any of the final figures yet of what everything has cost, and we know we have run over in a couple of areas, but we will we'll determine what that will be. I will also echo much to what Nicole had mentioned about Kevin and his crew from the highway department. They were always right there when I needed something done at the library, moving furniture, moving fixtures, cleaning out the attic, going to get some material that we thought we could use that was been stored for years in the attic. It's been moved to an off-site storage. And they went in and got picked that up, found out we couldn't use it, but that's okay. But they're always right there, a phone call away. So they do a great job.
How about the concern over all the cleanliness and how things ended up? Did they make
It
that?
just needs probably a good vacuuming, and
Is that it?
that should be it. Yeah,
Nice.
there's no, as I said, I'll be checking it myself, but you didn't
I was
notice
in there
it.
today,
Yeah.
it smells fine, it
Yeah.
does not look dirty to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
good. That's good news.
Yeah.
And
Good sweeping.
I want to thank Brian for the amount of effort he put into this, coordinating it and making it happen, because it was not easy with some of the changes and everything. Got the right people there at the right time to keep this moving, and what we were trying to do to keep it into a reasonable time frame. So appreciate that.
Is the electric work completed already? I'm just curious.
What, for that part up in the attic,
Did something fall and then?
oh,
they were gonna
the
check
light, no,
the-
we're waiting on that.
You're still waiting on
That is not part of that project.
Okay.
That's normal.
Normal maintenance,
Maintenance,
that's
yeah.
gonna happen down the line, okay.
But the light fixture is very expensive, so we're trying to think of a different way.
Yeah, and I think Laz looked at it
He
and
did.
said you probably got enough light in there.
Right.
You may not even want to spend that.
Even
kind of
without
money.
that fixture, you probably have enough light, but we'll take, we'll take a look at that on a dark, cloudy day going forward.
Cool.
Okay, page 15 for the pay increase on the animal control officer.
So what, after the meeting, at the last meeting when this was discussed, we had Christina do some research. There's two sets of numbers here. The first are the annual percentage increase of salary increases that town employees receive 2021 through 2025, which averages out to 4.64 for the last 5 years. Or had the animal control officer received the increase each year, he would go from starting at $600, he today would be up to $751. So that's the
Is
information.
that compounded, Brian?
Yeah, well,
4.64, did you take it each year then? 4.64?
no, we
the
just
new
took,
one?
we just took the 4.6, so they said just take
Oh,
the
okay,
average.
okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So that's the average, but the 4.64 times a
600.
600, that's different than what we got down below, right?
Right.
Down below is what I would
We
call
use the actuals
compounded.
for this.
Right, that down below would be compound.
Right, and the other is the average, so what would that amount be at 4.64?
4.64.
$27.84.
How much?
$27.84.
$30 a month, less than $30.
Where are you seeing these moves?
And this sheet right here, I handed it out. It's in the
Oh,
packet.
but that's just 1 year.
Oh, here, what's that?
Yeah, so that's not,
So the way I did it was, so this was what everybody got each year. If
Right.
you took these 5 years and divided it by 5, that's what it would be. Cause you wanted to know the average over 5 years. Or if he started at that and then in 21 you got
The
1.6, he'd be at 609.60. Then if he got that, you go 609.60 plus that, and that's how I figured out. Does that make sense?
yeah, what I was missing was, if
That
we
is
took
the
the average,
5-year
and if we took the average
Yes,
and
you
just
add them
multiply
up.
by 600, that's only 1 year.
Oh, you're
I'm like,
right.
why is there such a big delta there? But
You're right, because if you took the total and multiplied it times 4.64, you got one number.
Right,
If you took the 609.60 times 0.064, and then you did the 645.32 times 0.064 and 696, you've compounded the salary, so it's gonna be higher.
right.
Because each time your base changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes up 1.65.
Yeah, I guess the question is that what we should, is the gentleman worth it for the services he provides?
I think so. I
Yeah.
certainly don't want to be the one picking up animals on the side.
No, I agree.
Kinda like me being the health officer when no one else.
What do
I've done his job, and there's a risk associated with it. Then there's the extra travel time, the constantly being on call. I do think he's polite to work with, and he does care about his
Yeah, he
job
does,
very
yeah.
much. So
He's always right there, and, when I call for something, one of
So
us
the
calls.
751, you mentioned went from 600 to 751, that is
That's
compounded.
over, yeah,
Yeah, it's
over.
compounded.
Compounded at the rate per year that we gave the other
Exactly.
employees.
Right.
You take the new salary times
Right.
the new salary, new salary,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
So that's kind of equivalent to what everybody else
Yeah,
had
yeah,
happened to
that's
their
really
salary.
Yep.
And then I take a look, he responded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, so $100 a response, just slightly over that is about what we're paying
Right.
to drive here and.
Right, in some months he'll have more, some he has less.
So
but-
each time there has an incident, we pay him the 751?
no, it's a
that's for
monthly
month.
stipend.
month?
It's
Right,
just
so what I
on
was-
call,
Yeah,
30
so,
days.
so I was just looking, saying, okay, how much do we get him here, and it's 7, this last month was 7, so you're talking,
And every
About
time
100
somebody
something
goes to the urgent care or the hospital because they got bit, him and Susie both have to follow up on that on the phone.
So I mean, if you were to just take his 600 and on an average month with 30 days, I mean that's only $20 a day he's getting to be on call for the town of Swanton for animal control.
And to protect our citizens for $20 a day is cheap.
And that's just at 600. So I agree it's time for an increase.
That a motion?
someone
We
wanna
have to
make, that's what I was
decide.
gonna say, someone wanna make a motion?
To go with
Well, what do you want, yeah, I mean, what do you want, do you wanna go 750 even and just start with that, or 751.65, and can we absorb that right now, that 150 for basically 7 months.
You should, we never make any money on dogs anyways.
I'll make a motion to increase his pay to increase the pay of the animal control officer to $751.65 a month.
50 times 7, we're talking $1,000 basically for the remainder of the year. Okay, motion's been
Hey,
made.
Can I just, will that be effective June 1?
Yeah, we can do it in discussion if we get a second. Should I get a second?
I'll second that.
All right, any discussion?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to be effective June 1. That way we don't have to worry about back pay and stuff like that.
Any other discussion?
Is he on a 1099?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. It's a 1099 you do for him, right?
No, he
No,
goes
he's
through
an
payroll.
employee.
Oh, it goes through payroll? Oh,
Everyone, they passed it a while ago, everyone has to go payroll. The only ones who don't have to go payroll was the ones like you get the
Independent.
small stipend for like the
The
DRB
board.
and planning unless.
Oh.
So he
anyways.
pays social security and stuff like that off the 7 something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, friends will be here next meeting. Promote Swanton update.
So that's me. So we have been working with Syncrosity on creating that rebrand or that logo for the community. Those of us within the Promote Swanton group did a survey, and they collected some really cool responses from all of us because we all wear different hats in the community. With all of the responses, they did put together some sort of a concept draft of what a logo could look like. They feel that Swanton is a community with deep roots, from the wildlife refuge to its Abenaki heritage, as well as its agricultural past and recreational opportunities. With all of our responses, they say that it offers a beautiful, inclusive, and healthy environments for families and visitors alike. They noted that our community is friendly, neighborly, resilient, proud. It's also a place where we're trying to get a response of comfort and wonder and belonging, but also nostalgia and respect. And that, well, I guess we'll get right into it. This is kind of the concept idea. I only brought one, I apologize. I probably should have brought more. But that's the concept idea that we've just kind of come up with. So right now we're taking additional feedback if there are any additional things that you think we've missed or should be taken out, or if that's the direction that you guys still want to go with for a welcome sign.
Pretty good.
I think it's beautiful. There are we've gotten some feedback on a few things, to take away maybe some mountains to make it really look like the rolling agricultural hills of Swanton. Mr. Fournier really thinks the dam should be put in there. I think that is up for interpretation to others. But so again, I wanted to bring it to you gentlemen to see if you have any additional feedback that you would like, or actually all of us at the table would like, as we send it back to the designer for an additional concept plan with revisions. It's been a great experience working with this company so far. They've also helped create some branding messaging that I think that we can use on our website, use as we additionally roll out plans for the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail and bringing tourism to our community, and some really great messaging that will help Swantonians be proud about the Swanton that we live in today.
Could we get that sent to us so we could take just a little longer look at it?
Sure. I should have brought copies of everybody, but I was running out of my.
I like about it, it's nice and bright, a lot of colors.
Yeah.
I think I'll make a
In addition to the feedback here, I did also bring it to the Abenaki Tribal Council because it does have some symbolism, and I wanted to make sure that if we are using symbolism that's representing that group, that they are represented accurately. They were incredibly excited that I even considered getting their input and feedback. So
And then we're still on the bottom of the
Still on the
sign, we
bottom.
still plan to put their symbol there too, so.
And they were
got
incredibly
a lot of
happy for
color.
that.
Yeah, I drove by Grand Avenue and looked at our welcome to Swanton sign, and another winter, it just looks terrible.
But I think with something like that, it could
That's-
really
that's-
pop and make people really excited, and especially at a time right now when you or you drive through and you see all the hard work that the beautification committee has put into our community. I think it would make people really excited about spending time here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something to add to it, and I just can't. It was a good job.
Anything else?
In addition, Promote Swanton is working on creating or gathering pictures and photos of our businesses to add to the business directory that we had talked with EcoPixel on changing our website a little bit, so they'll have a couple of different headers, and they're just waiting on us to put those pictures together as we have. I have plenty, so please help yourselves. So that I think is something that's in the process, and hopefully we'll have that done shortly. The Promote Swanton group is also working on a concept for a brochure. Again, so it's an additional piece of material that we can print if we so choose to share with outsiders about our
In
community.
your committee, and I think this is probably a village thing, probably more than anything, any discussion about when people are dining out over here at the restaurant and the cars go by, it's a terrible noise. There's a couple of folks that keep making the tour with these loud mufflers on their cars, and that's probably a village issue. I'm not sure, I don't know where it falls, but boy, we were over there the other night, and everybody there was somebody I didn't know, so there's a lot of out-of-town people, which is great, but these cars were noisy. Motorcycles, and they got some kind of a muffler on these little cars, and you can hear it all over the place.
So I mean, in regards to that, I mean that I think that is something that the police department does monitor.
Yeah.
But would definitely be a village question. I do know that the village has a scoping study for their downtown area and plan to do some traffic related things. And I'm sure they could give you more of an update on what that is.
Okay, right. I just didn't wanna leave a bad taste in some out-of-town people that were here with all the noise.
I understand the concern too, but it is, there are a lot of people who are very into that kind of scene with the cars in our county, in our neighborhoods, so, I think it's just an interesting quirk, maybe.
When they got the logo, maybe adding a house or two, maybe.
Sure, I mean, so if you think about it, I don't have to get right back to them. I'm hoping to get back to them by the end of the week. So if you want to take some feedback down and send it out to me in an email.
Okay. Yeah, love the color, that's great. Okay, Newtown business, request of Rick Cummins to connect Lydia's Ridge to State Drive. And Earl actually called me and we talked about it, and then I thought about it more and talked with Brian. That really needs to be a conversation with the state because we haven't taken that road over yet. So Mr. Cummins, myself probably, and somebody from AOT need to sit down and make sure everybody's comfortable and probably get a written agreement because the state, is gonna maintain it the way they wanna maintain it, and then Mr. Cummins needs to be aware of that right now. If the state allows him to connect to it at some point later, if we own it, then, we would have our own discussion with them, but the state's gotta be involved. So we took that one off. Security camera upgrade for the Swanton Public Library. Nick, that was your request?
Yeah, I went to a trustees meeting last Tuesday, and Abby, she brought up that the fact that something got stolen and it didn't get caught in the security cameras. And she did a walkthrough recently with the insurance person, and the insurance person told her about a grant where they could potentially apply for it and get new security cameras. She didn't get the information about it from the person she did the walkthrough for, and doesn't know who to contact.
We've got the information here. It's through the insurance company, which is PASIF, which is the insurance company of the Vermont League of Cities and Towns. Christina did pull up some information on the grant. Basically, depending upon the amount of money that is the upgrade would cost, it's on a sliding scale. So I asked Abby, well, what are you looking about for a price roughly? And she said about maybe between $5,000 and $10,000. So on that, it was
It would have to be pre-approved
pre-approved
through them.
through that.
But also Kathy was gonna use that grant possibly for the highway
Right.
department for backup cameras, and it can only be used once.
Right.
I
One
was-
Backup
talk-
cameras for the
I
truck.
was talking to
Yeah.
actually not Kevin, and they said they don't have them, and I didn't know if that was something they wanted to implement or not. I haven't talked to Kevin about it yet, so, or you.
Yeah. I-
So I just wanted to mention that to make sure if you wanna use
We-
it.
They said they'd be willing to write the grant if they were given the opportunity.
So this is internal to the building?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is this an item that may or may not have a high level of importance, but should this be a budgeted item that we discuss for ensuing years? It seems to all of a sudden have come up, and I think we're trying to stick close to our budget that we prepared.
I agree, except this one's actually, I think we're leaning toward a grant
I
application.
don't think it would cover all of it though, would
That's
it?
That's why I was
No,
asking
no.
him.
A certain percent of it.
And then what's the time frame? I mean, it's already May, so.
And the other thing to that is you just can't go out and buy the cameras you want. They have a list of vendors you have to use. And they'll give you that information. It's like when we got all the reflective new vest and stuff a while back, they gave us the list.
How much
It's
did she
approved.
say? 5,000?
Between 5 and 10,000.
So up to 10,000 is a $300 grant. 10,000 to 20,000 is a $500 grant.
That's all we get from
That's all?
passive? Yep, I think there should be more research done into it and
It
looking
might
into
be
the,
cheaper for them to buy them separately rather than using grant because you probably could get a cheaper
and then what's the,
option, right?
there's an existing system in there?
Yeah, I believe so.
There
It
is.
sounds like it, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that's fairly inexpensive too, that, anyway, I think there probably should be some more
Yeah, let's do the work
research on that and come back to us on it.
I have a billing system. That's right, $10.
Okay. I don't think anyone's opposed to looking at that further and, seeing where we go with it. So pay increase for DRB and planning commission members, have to have this put on the agenda. And the reason being is right now, it's what, 2 vacancies on planning and 1 on the DRB. Their stipend right now, what's that?
Right now, the members get 45 and the chairs get 55
Okay, I thought it was 35, so it's 45.
and 55.
When was the last time that went up? Do we know?
I would say that's been at least over 2 years, 3 years ago maybe.
We should bring it up. You recommending the $50 a meeting?
Yeah, I didn't realize it was, I thought it was 35. I don't know where I got that info, but I thought it was 35. But again, for them to come and spend a couple hours, and then if they do any work prior,
Small price to pay.
you know, I don't know if we maybe go to 55 and 65. And right now they meet once a month, right? Pretty much.
In the planning, you're about a 2-hour meeting. The DRB is about an hour, plus they have their packets to review ahead of time. You're probably about 2 hours each meeting.
Each month, you mean? Or, yeah.
So you're saying we should go with 50 or 55?
I'm happy with either. I just wanted to get the discussion going, and originally I put down here 50, again, because I thought it was 35, but.
I think we need to show an expression of our support. I think they rallied, we had some questions a while ago, and they really rallied to the cause. And again, I'm impressed with their minutes, you read them, they really try to make everything work. So I would go with the 55 and 65, effective June 1st maybe.
For the June meeting.
So we're talking like $770 for the year, so I mean, that's
And we get
in the big-
fees, I mean, people, they have to pay fees when they come in, so should we raise the fees at the next discussion?
I think we should probably, well, go ahead.
For the fees, this is a discussion Amy and I have had. I've printed off what all of the neighboring towns are paying, people pay for all kinds of permits. Amy and I next week are gonna make a spreadsheet, a list, and then when the planning commission comes to the DRB, or the select board June 4th, you can review that, and then if you choose to adopt those fee increases, they can be adopted July 1st when the bylaws are, everything takes effect in 21 days.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
that's good.
That's-
We're gonna see what all the other towns are, like, for instance, a certificate of compliance in Swanton is $30, most towns it's 50 to 75. So there's some areas that there's room
Well,
to,
that's a good job.
we'll get that
So
done
let's,
before the
let's
next
do one piece
meeting.
at a time, let's phase those to 55 and 65 per meeting,
Yep,
starting on June 1st.
Do I hear a motion?
I thought that was,
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to increase the fees to 55 and 65 effective June 1st. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Purchasing policy, it was added to the agenda and just want people to come up with their proposed changes. Steve's already sent his in, I haven't sent mine in yet, but I wanted to get that out, so next meeting we can have a discussion on that and get this updated in the next meeting or two if it takes, but just, we talked about it before and there were some things to add, so.
just one question, Joel, on your update under, excuse me, new business,
Yep.
HD. I said we can review at the next meeting, budget authority for the RC, which we approved, limit on who can sign loans. I didn't think they had the authority to sign loans.
That's what I mean, that's what I wanna add in here,
Oh,
that we,
no,
I think our discussion was loans were gonna be, had to come to the select board.
Yeah, we borrow money,
Right, that's,
that's what I was hoping.
But
so I just meant as far as changes, we'd already given the rec some additional authority, we just haven't codified it in the purchasing. And then another change was limit on who can sign, so we can clarify
Which
that.
is the select board, yeah.
And then aggregating was, and that was also something you had mentioned,
Yep.
but you got something?
no, I'm just making sure that it was reflected, those changes for the rec commission were going to be in the new ones.
Yeah, that's what we wanted, yes, that's what we said we were gonna do when we approved that, so yes,
Yeah, good.
okay. Get that clarified. Community and economic development.
My bathroom key.
Nothing to report
Okay,
at this time.
tell you what though, it is nice driving downtown and seeing almost all the parking taken up.
It is.
Someone said one time it'd be a nice problem to have when we got a parking problem and, right in Merchants Row, seeing that pretty much full and over up, yeah,
It starts early in the morning.
Cannon Street.
It's not a, 4 to 8 thing. It starts early in the morning. There's people parking down there. Really good sign.
Yeah, that's,
I don't think there's been any, not, well, because the police would know better than this, but any complaints about people parking too long and not getting a parking space. So I think this is actually traffic coming in, stopping, going into the businesses, doing what they need to do, and then moving on. So it's not, hasn't turned into, it's not commuters parking, it's actually business. So
Might be. Yeah.
So on that topic of conversation, one of the things that was brought up to me by a business owner when I was traveling in our downtown businesses is about more signage promoting people to come into the downtown, whether that be right when you get off the highway. I know right now I think there's a chamber sign, and I think there's a chamber sign coming in from this way, but if you get off the highway, you're only seeing those few businesses. Is there anything that the town can do to support signage to promoting that economic growth in our downtown district? Something to just think about.
and that's something, I think, and you promote Swanton, if you think of some ways and then come back, certainly something we can look at. I'm all for it, it's great.
When you go by certain shopping centers, they have a sign somewhere that tells everything inside there. Too bad when you get off the interstate, we couldn't have, and I don't know, this might not be allowed, a sign that says flowers, restaurant, all that stuff downtown, or something, I mean, that's pretty simple, but.
Even just a sign that says downtown district shopping ahead or downtown district
Yeah, I know.
shop eat.
Yeah, a number of years ago, way back when Charlie Prouty was active in the Chamber of Commerce, and he tried to get the state to say, when you come off the interstate and you go heading into Swanton, it just says Swanton. He wanted it to say downtown Swanton, and the state wouldn't do it for whatever reason, you know.
Of course.
They are very painful with their signs. The air guard
Very much
tried to
so.
get some directional signs, and it was very painful and very limited what we were able to pull
Yeah.
off with the state.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, both directions, it's their area.
Yeah,
But,
but maybe
can-
things have changed, who knows?
okay, any other necessary business?
Just that executive session
Yeah.
briefly.
Correspondence?
Didn't get anything.
Public comment? Anybody on camera? Looks like we don't have anybody on camera.
Just as under public comment, as part of my work with the rec department, I am now the volunteer liaison for the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail Ambassador Program. If anybody is a trail user and interested in becoming a ambassador for the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail, to please reach out to me at the rec department, as we'd like to gather a group of local trail users to help influence trail usage in our area.
Is anyone sponsoring any, I mean, but I'm a big supporter of this, of the trail. Are we gonna sponsor any rides, say, from Swanton to, I don't know, East Bugshoe? Where if somebody wanted to ride 10 miles up, we would kind of create a program and lead them up and something like that?
I mean, there are things that have been talked about and the rail trail level. There's also the Lamoille Valley Tour Group that operates a shuttle, so you can get on certain different locations. You can ride up the trail, and then they'll shuttle you back to where your car is. Right now, a lot of those folks are stopping in St. Johnsbury, riding their bicycles here, picking up the shuttle, and being shuttled back to St. Johnsbury. I'd love to see it go the other way, where folks are coming and parking here in Swanton. And I think when the trailhead is finished, that will
Yeah.
increase. But they do drop-offs and pickups in the parking lot at Swanton Rec, and so far this year it's already seems pretty active. So.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential with the trail, and then even if we sponsor something to take them to a different area of Swanton to see and do something, you know, that, yeah, it's,
Ride to the Abbey for lunch,
yeah,
park your bike and you're right there.
yep.
One quick question just about rec. Do you know when we're gonna be signing the bylaws? Is that coming up soon?
Yeah, we were supposed to get those minor changes completed, and so hopefully next meeting.
I did complete them and send them back that following day.
That's right, and you had your note on the bottom or
Correct.
whatever, so, yeah, let's have them out for the first meeting in June, get them signed off.
Thanks, Nick.
Welcome.
And I know it's gonna be mentioned in upcoming events, but under public comment, I just wanna put out a real plug for Memorial Day Parade. And we don't have many people on that are even watching this, but if someone's got something that's some type of float, a bike, a group of kids and wanna participate, please come out. The parade starts at 2:00 on the 26th, and the gathering is on Grand Avenue. It's pretty easy to see by the school there and stuff. So really encourage anybody watching this, if there's something you can put in the parade to help remember those that paid the ultimate sacrifice, please do so. Thank you. Nick Kern.
Upcoming events: Thursday, May 22nd, 2025 will be a DRB meeting at 6 p.m. here in the town office. Saturday, May 24th, 2025, the Veterans Flag Display setup will happen at 9 a.m. on the Village Green. Encourage volunteers to help if you're available. Saturday and Sunday, May 24th and 25th, will be the Abenaki Heritage Festival from 10 to 5 at the Swanton Rec Fields at 16 Jewett Street. Please park in the lower parking lot. The event will happen in our lower field. Monday, May 26, 2025 is the Memorial Day holiday. Offices and operations will be closed. Monday, May 26th, Memorial Day Parade will happen at 2 p.m., going from Grand Avenue to the Village Square. Saturday, May 30th, 2025 will be the Veteran Flag Display Takedown on the Village Green. Volunteers are also encouraged to help with that. Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025 will be a regularly scheduled Select Board meeting at 6 p.m. here at the town office.
Thank you very much. Executive session for real estate and legal. Entertain a motion.
I move that we find that we enter executive session for the Select Board to receive confidential real estate and legal information from which the premature disclosure of it to the general public would clearly place the Select Board and others at a substantial disadvantage.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I move that based on our just made findings that the premature disclosure would place the Select Board and others at a substantial disadvantage, we now enter executive session.
Hear a second?
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We're not anticipating.